money comes to purpose and value and ideas. Not all of us are willing to sit with the problem and enjoy solving it. In entrepreneurship, we suffer from loneliness. The goal that you have written down definitely is going to be forgotten by your mind eventually. The power of communication and agreement in terms of purpose will make sure that as entrepreneurs, we are all growing.
Thank you so much. And so the conversation continues, and I'm very excited for this conversation. It's a fireside chat. And very much like the masterclass that we had just before the networking, it's a three-way conversation between myself, Coach Boniswa, and then the rest of you as well. We really felt that Coach Boniswa was the best person for us to have this conversation today. We've talked about the strategies of goal setting. We've talked about what makes a good goal and how to ensure that your goals are relevant for the season that you are in. We've also looked at the tools that are important for you in implementing your goals. But the element that we haven't talked deep enough about is the mindset that is required in order to achieve your goals. Coach Boniswa is a transformation life coach, and she specializes specifically in helping people to go from stuck to unstuck in their businesses, their career, and their life. So that means that if you are here and you are feeling stuck, you feel like you've got a bit of a stumbling block, Coach Boniswa is the perfect person for you to actually speak to. So I'm very excited to have her here with us today because she's going to help us break through some of those blockages that we have. So as a first start, Coach Boniswa, I would like for you to help us unpack a little bit, especially as entrepreneurs. What are some of the things that are keeping us stuck from achieving our goals, even though we write them down and we are committed to our goals, but somehow along the way, we are finding ourselves stuck? What is it that's keeping us stuck?
Sanibona? Dumela, sanibona. Awesome stuff. And thank you so much for having me, Coach. So the one thing that we need to remind ourselves of, the goal has been set, we have a clear vision, but we find ourselves not able to achieve the goal because the logical mind that has set the goal and the mindset or the inner person who you need to be in order to achieve the goal are two different, I'm going to call it people, or at different places. Our logical mind, guys, knows what we need to do. All of us here as business owners, we want growth. For example, when that growth requires you to show up, just a simple post on social media, you no longer want to do it. Has the goal changed? Are you now a different person from the person who set the goal? The answer is no, you're still the same person, but the real you is what is showing you in your inability to move forward. So the mindset, or I'm going to call it your own programming about who you need to be, is what we need to work on, is what we need to interrogate, is who we need to empower so that we can find the things that are hidden that normally stop us from being the people we need to be in order to move where we need to go.
Sure. How many of you have found yourself in that space, just by your show of hands, where you've written down your goals, but somehow you're finding yourself stuck in actually being able to start or achieve your goals? Don't be afraid, you can put your hand up. I think a lot of us can actually resonate with this. It's not something that is easy. And so we actually need to then, from what I'm understanding you say, Coach Wani, is that we need to look deep down inside ourselves to say, what is this thing that is preventing me and stopping me from actually taking action?
Good, can I just ask a question to the audience?
Yes.
So, guys, for those who raised their hand, right? You know what you needed to do, but you found yourself stuck. What was it? Was it not knowing what to do? Was the thinking is going to change you, or you're going to need to be someone else? Or was it just a fear of either the unknown according to you? Who would like to share? Can you please have Thank you. The mic is there. You can just raise your hand. There he is. Even the people who watch here, what was it? What stopped you? Because that's the point of this conversation.
Good day, everybody. My name is Cameron Trey, and I'm a startup person business background. So
You can just speak up for us a little bit so that we can hear you.
my name is Cameron, and I run a small business called Oral Training Logistics. What I faced was a bit of a paradox where I know what I'm doing, I know what I want to do. It's just that I might have a fear of the unknown of what can be, you understand? And also past traumas of lack of who I was as a person, and accepting that the old was there, but the new person is here. Yeah, so
Before you move the mic, in the fear of the unknown, what did you think will happen?
the fear of the unknown is the fear of failure, fear of not achieving your desired goals that you've set out for yourself. And also it comes a point where that fear might paralyze us to step forward and embrace the unknown.
Thank you for going there. I needed him to go there to illustrate something. There is no such thing as the fear of the unknown. Because in that statement of the unknown, he already knows failure. We say it's unknown, but the truth is our mind is going forward into the future, creating a failure, making us feel like failures, and then we say it's the fear of the unknown. From today onwards, please know there is no such thing as fear of the unknown. Because in your mind, you create the failure or you create the success. Because you go into the future, see things working out or not working out. See people rejecting you or not rejecting you. You are making yourself live forward into your life, but in a way that is crippling you now. Because that stops your action now. Because you've gone on and said it won't work. But it's not true, you haven't tried. That's where we cripple ourselves emotionally. Because we go back into the past traumas every time it didn't work and say, I don't want to feel like that again. So the courage to feel is really the work we need to do. So thank you for your courage to share with us. I hope from today we can help you get unstuck and move forward. Over to you, Coach.
So, Coach Bonnie, what would you say we do with the fears that we have? Do we need to sit down and do an exercise where we acknowledge the fear, give it a name, maybe write it down so that we can face it?
Okay? We need to do the same thing we do to stop ourselves. We play the movie in our mind.
Yeah.
We play every time. Guys, you are playing a certain movie in your mind every morning, every evening. It takes discipline, commitment, willingness to try, to wake up and play a different movie in your mind. For example, we live in a country where we are almost cynical about everything. When you wake up and say, in Cyril's economy, remember how we speak as entrepreneurs, in Cyril's economy, I can't even afford this. In Cyril, what are we saying to our mind? It's a hard economy. So if we play that believing, what should we encounter? Hardship. That is the biggest secret, that everything that's happening inside of you, you have power over, but when you don't take control of that power, it really runs you. So the same effort of feeling bad, of feeling not enough, of feeling unworthy, if you were to put that to say, today I'm going to do my best. If your best is one post about your product, that is enough. You have allowed yourself to see success for the day based on what you wanted to do. That is how we start to massage the mind, back to compliance, back to positivity, back to the awareness of you are a creator. Just because you're creating things you don't want, you cannot remove the responsibility of creating from yourself.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Sure, that's so powerful, and I really resonate with that. You know, I found myself in situations where I feel fearful within my own entrepreneurship journey. And one of the things that I learned along the way is that there's only one thing that cures fear. Only one. one thing that cures fear. And the only thing that cures fear is action. That is it. So if you are afraid to speak on the stage, the only thing that is going to cure that fear is literally to step on the stage.
Yes.
If you're afraid to make that phone call, the only thing that is going to cure that fear of making the phone call is picking up the phone and dialing those numbers. So the only thing that actually cures fear is action. And I don't know if you guys have realized this, but often at times when the thing happens, it is never as scary as we thought it was going to be. It is always better than we thought it's going to be. And I think this also brings us through to what we would call limiting beliefs. Coach Bonnie, what are some of the limiting beliefs that we as entrepreneurs, especially in the townships, struggle with?
So the one limiting belief, I've heard it already when we were sort of engaging my small business. I run a small business, right? The idea of small was planted in us, either by the system, either by where we were raised, and we have adopted it and made it our nature. There is nothing small about any of us sitting here. We are magnificent, we are brilliant, we are capable, and we know people who are skilled in things we might not be skilled in. The courage to say, for me to service the rest of Rustenburg with my product, I need 10 million rands, and plan it through and understand every intricate detail of it and go look for how you co-invest, find funding for that, requires a mindset which is not believing in small. One of our biggest limiting beliefs is what we think we can get. We don't go in looking at who we can serve. How do we want to serve? How large is that market? We just say, I want the small portion. And we fight for the small portion. We fight for the same market or industry. But the truth is, we are so unlimited by where and what we could do. So we really need to look, when I think of business, what am I really thinking of business? Which business accounts or business pages am I following? What about them has made them service so many people, right? Why? It's not just looking at their numbers. You want to draw inspiration for moving out of this small-mindedness that we adopt based on resources and where we come from, and not even the reality of them, I'm gonna call it of them being limited, but our idea of ourselves being limited. There is a saying which, for me, it has always changed my mind about money. Someone was pitching an idea that helps people, children, to have access to books, and they asked him, where will the money come from? And the answer of this person said, wherever the money is where the money will come from. Because money comes to purpose and value and ideas. An idea is something you can't touch, but when you are fully convicted in it, your life force calls unto you resources to make that idea come to life. So we are really being limited by our idea of who we are. That is why I'm saying from today, look at the business you are in and what you love about it. Look at people who are doing what you do 100 times bigger. So that your mind shifts from what you think is possible, from who you think you are, because the biggest thing I think I am, and from there, say yes. When you want something, say yes to people who have already had it. Say yes to industries that are already growing the way you want to grow. You can't say you want to grow, but when you see people who are growing and feel jealousy, you are rejecting the same growth by your energy. Why are you rejecting it? You think you don't deserve it. You think you're not enough. You think you're not educated. You think. All of those are not true. They are just thoughts based on where you come from, based on who raised you, based on who empowered you or disempowered you. Some of us were disempowered by people who told us, you are nothing. You will never amount to anything. You are not smart enough. And you become your own person who disempowers you by saying those same things to yourself. I'm even so sensitive, guys, that I don't say to myself, you're stupid. I work with a guy when he makes a mistake, he always says, so stupid. I'm like, no. The words are so powerful because from the words we feel. And when we feel, we act. And in your behavior, what Coach just said, to overcome fear, you must act. You will not act when you're scared and refuse to allow yourself to move forward. Thank you, Coach.
Sure. This is really powerful, and also I think it is a call to us to have a very honest conversation with ourselves about what is truly holding us back. What is truly stopping us from achieving the goals that we write down, from achieving the vision that we have set for ourselves. I want us just to take 2 or 3 minutes right now just to do an exercise with our pen, with our paper, with our notebook. This time I won't put you on the spot to name it and say it out loud, but let's just do a short exercise in which we write down what is truly holding us back from achieving our goals. What is that limiting belief that is holding us back from achieving our goals? Is it the fact that we've told ourselves that we are small and can never grow bigger? Is it the fact that we've told ourselves that I am shy, I cannot speak up? Is it the fact that we've told ourselves I'm not a social media person, I cannot show up for myself? Is it the fact that you've told yourself, no, Mina, I'm the type of person that works in the background, I am never front of stage? Do you have a limiting money belief that you do not believe your bank account can become bigger than a certain amount of money? Do you have a toxic relationship with money that when it comes in, it immediately goes out?
I know it.
That it's like there's holes in your pocket. What could it be that is honestly holding you back? Is it because you've made mistakes in the past in your business and you haven't forgiven yourself? You lost money in your business, you chose the wrong business partner, and as a result of that mistake, you are not allowing yourself to move forward in your business. What is the thing that is holding you back from achieving your goals? Just write it down and have an honest conversation with yourself, because until we can address the things that are holding us back and take action to cure the fear that we have, it becomes difficult for us to move forward. I'm just going to give you 1 more minute to complete the exercise, and then we'll have the roaming mic for those who have questions that can put and raise up their hands. Just 1 more minute.
We have one question over there. Someone said when money comes into your account and you don't sleep home, how can millions count? All right.
Dumela Kaiso,
Dumela.
Ina ke Ofile Kalefi. I come from the brand Evolve with Ofile. Ke zomo Pokemon, so a local, but I'm globally thinking.
Oh,
I cannot go to people, but I extend on the point you made, my friends.
Please go.
One of the biggest reasons we don't grow our businesses is because we don't believe in ourselves. The reason I call my business Evolve is because I believe in personal evolution, not personal development. This building was developed. When they put the last roofing on top, the development stops. But when every day when you wake up, your evolution continues. You have new experiences, new environments, sometimes new people that you meet. So you are continuously growing. Who you were 10 years ago is not who you are from here. The reason for small business, to go on to your point, is because it limits your thinking. If you believe you are small because you keep saying it, and yes, man, words are powerful. If you keep saying you have a small business, it'll never be a big business. It'll remain a small business. And you will have what I call the employee mindset. Only more businessing. Most of us in Yalafaso used to have a job somewhere where we had a boss. And then you decide, no, I'm going to go on my own. With other people, you took the mindset of an employee. That every 30 days, I get a check and then I pay my bills. But now, the problem is you move to become an employer. Even if you're a one-man show, like I am, for example, I've got an assistant, but guess what? I can do it because she gets free coaching from me. So we have a trade exchange. I have office space, I'm a life coach by the way. I have office space, but I don't pay rent. You know why? Because my landlord, I give them free coaching and workshopping in exchange for free office space. So when you come to me or whatever, you don't come to my house, you go to an office. It's my business registration. So the point I'm making, Bahula, is let us learn to think big and let us learn to be more resourceful than depending on resources. When you're resourceful in your mind, which is the most powerful weapon you have for business, because business is nothing but great ideas met with money at the right time and the right people. That's it.
You.
So you find that, I can promise you from this room, one of you in here, if it's not me, is going to be a South African export. You decide.
Woo!
I absolutely love that. You know, we encourage this. Not only can we contribute questions, but we can also contribute our own insights. If the Spirit moves you, please just raise your hand and contribute to this conversation, because that has been such a rich contribution. Thank you so much for that. You know, Coach Bonnie, what are some of the things that we can do to rewire our mindset and to be able to move past some of these blockages that we have in achieving our goals?
I'm gonna call it living with intention, or taking time in our morning life or in our daily life to set an intention for the day, an intention for the week, an intention for an encounter. If you're going into a meeting, what is your intention? What do I want to achieve? How do I want this to happen or to evolve? Really setting an intention. We think we do this, but a day can start, you're already running, you're already late, you're already angry because someone cut you at the robots. By the time you enter into your meeting, your energy is off because you didn't hold steadfast to your intention. One of my intentions is a win-win mindset. When I deal with a business or with someone else, am I offering you the best value? And am I comfortable receiving an equal value or reward, right? Most of us are willing to give, but are scared sometimes to receive. Hence, we undercharge ourselves, want to do or undercut or feel things are not enough, we were robbed. By the time we get to that kind of inner conversation, it's because our intention was not clear, was not anchored, and was not executed. What is your intention? Even with this business, what is your intention? When Coach said a big, hairy, audacious goal, what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? You sit with it, visualize it, understand how it fits into your purpose. Because without purpose, we are like ships going anywhere, and any destination will be our home. But we haven't achieved where we needed to be. So the most important thing, to really understand what is happening inside of you, setting your intention, understanding what you are putting your attention to. Attention is your life force. I'm being attentive to negative things. I was telling my other friend, I'm watching a lot of true crime, which means I'm really just putting my energy on real life situations. Yes, as a coach I should, but it's now starting to consume you. Things you are watching, things you are speaking about, are they really in line with your intention to grow your business? What Ndate just spoke about, someone sitting here will be exporting their material. Are you having those conversations if you are having a product? Is Africa to you a continent that deserves your service? So your ability to really map out your own service, your own value, to where it is needed, but more than anything, aligning it with your purpose, so that you are not just doing business for the sake of business. Because that also takes the wind out of ourselves. That's why we get tired, we get disgruntled, we want to leave it. Because it was never truly the thing we should have been giving our life energy to. Thanks, Coach.
Sure, that's so powerful. I want to give a moment just to allow us to share Any aha moments that we've gotten so far from today's workshop? I know there were some people that wanted to continue sharing with us what their goal is for 2025. I know that there was a hand at the back in the top right-hand corner over there. Any aha moments that you've gotten from today's workshop? Any fears you're going to move past? Any goals you have set for yourself? Any realizations that have come up for you during today's session? Any questions that you may have that you haven't yet had an opportunity to ask? I want us to give you this opportunity for the floor to be yours, because this is your session after all. So let's start with the roaming mic, please.
There we go.
So the question, or what? Do you want me to say the question, or?
Both.
However the spirit leads you.
Yeah, it's quite mind-boggling and getting a lot of balance. But my concern is that I think that we internalize word differently, right? And if I would ask you what is a word, some people that might not answer, some people that might say there's different alphabets, right? And in most cases, one finds himself, hoping, going to different, doing iOS car, doing work on himself, getting into business and coaching, doing a whole lot of things. But when he introspects and he looks at his life, he's not making any progress, right? And he has spotted, he has done a lot of work on himself, right? But this thing that he does, coming to workshop and all that, they don't take it to money. They come as a form of, mental massage. And I'm good, I've attended this, I've networked and all that. But one doesn't really, make a progress. And it doesn't reflect, I'm doing this, but it doesn't reflect in terms of the quality of my life.
Tell me something, if we can keep the mind there on you, what are some of the strategies you have found in your own life that when you are finding yourself stuck within your own goals that have helped you to push forward and move through?
I do a lot of work on myself, so I do have a support. I do have people who hold me accountable and continuously challenging me. Maybe then I used to get in contact with feeling and there's a whole lot of support, but just not happy in terms of how things are taken. I know that it should definitely be. I do have the mindset, I do have the attitude, I do have the knowledge, I do have the know-how. But what is this? I'm just saying that I don't feel good, I'm not worthy. But I feel that perhaps maybe I should actually dig a little bit much more deeper to say what might be the trauma.
100%. Thank you so much for sharing that and being so candid and honest. I think that that's quite important.
We can walk the same journey, but have different lessons, different peaks, different valleys in the same journey. We are all in the book of life, but we're in different chapters, we're in different seasons. So when we have done the work, we have accountability partners, we really need to ask someone who can help us flip the coin, see what we don't see, believe what we don't believe. Do you understand what I mean, guys? When you want to achieve something, that's why you always look at people who have why. You are looking to leverage their belief. It is so easy to believe something you have overcome or have achieved. But for someone who's starting out, it feels impossible. So the gap between your belief of possibility or impossibility versus their awareness of what is needed, right, for where they were to where they are, it really becomes the leverage, it becomes the anchor, it becomes the pillar for you to see yourself at the end as well. So if you need to say, I've been doing this, but the outcome is not giving me what I thought it would, we then need to go audit. My background is engineering, guys. I wake up to solve problems every day, which made me accept that problems are part of life. But I'm learning that not all of us are willing to sit with the problem and enjoy solving it. most of us have a problem we want to fix, run away, throw money at, numb from. It is not a joy for you to say, this is my challenge. Who is it requiring me to be for me to overcome my challenge? And when I get to the next step, there's going to be another challenge. That's the funny part. We think when we get somewhere, we'll be done. We are actually just starting. And most of us get demoralized because we were never in it for the joy of serving, of solving it, of empowering ourselves and others through the journey.
100%. I would also encourage, if you are in a stage in your life where you feel as though I'm doing my goals, I'm doing the things, I'm doing all of the right things, and I'm actually in a season where it's almost as though I need to somehow be patient for things to actually come about, I would encourage you to do the Ikigai exercise. Ikigai, Ikigai. You can Google it if you're not familiar with it. Ikigai. And it is basically a philosophy. It looks at 4 different aspects of your life. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it looks in terms of what you are good at, what your purpose is in life, and how it is able to serve humanity and your society at large. It goes through an entire process that helps you to define for yourself if you are actually living in accordance to the life that you were meant to live. Because sometimes dissatisfaction comes because we may not be necessarily living in alignment to the path that we are actually supposed to take. And that's also a very difficult realization to come to. And that can be in terms of your business, your career, your life, your relationships, everything. So I would certainly encourage you to do that exercise as well. I know we've still got the roaming mic and there were some other hands up. You can put those hands back up again so that we can come to you. Maybe you want to share a question, you want to contribute to the conversation, you want to share your goal for 2025, anything at all, feel free to put your hand up. Is everybody comfortable? Would you like us to continue with the program? You can put your hand up if you've got any questions. Are we okay for now? All right, fantastic. If that is the case, then as we begin to wrap up, Coach Moniswa, I want you to just share with us what is one small but powerful step that we as entrepreneurs can take today to set ourselves up for success in 2025.
I love this one. It's the creating a community of like-minded people in terms of values and in terms of growth aspirations. In entrepreneurship, we suffer from loneliness. The idea is yours, the skills to execute are yours, you feel you have a unique problem. When you have a unique problem, chances are it's not long before you think this problem is bigger than you, right? But if we create, like as we're all here, either aspiring entrepreneurs or entry level or intermediate in our journey, if we really sit around the table and say, these are our types of businesses, these are our types of resources, how can we leverage our resources? How can we leverage, for example, having a virtual assistant for those of us who can't have a full-time assistant yet? What is needed? So a sense of community empowers us, helps us learn faster, and helps us to save in terms of either time, skill, energy, money sometimes. But because no one wants to start the conversation, we normally say, I don't want to be the first one to say, hi, I have an idea. We then, all of us sitting here are walking solo or with our friends. We know no one who is either upstream or downstream our product. If I'm producing security guards, I need to be knowing someone who's producing motors so that when we install, it's one package or one service for the client, for example. So creating a sense of community where we are leveraging each other's skills, knowledge, time for the purposes of growth and expansion is one sure way to achieve your goals. Because the community every month acts as a board of some sort. You have board members who you are reporting to your performance, who you are sharing your goals for the next month, who want feedback. They say once a goal is written down and communicated to someone else, it has almost a 95% chance and above of being achieved. But a goal that you haven't written down, definitely is going to be forgotten by your mind eventually. A goal that's written down, not shared with anyone, it's below the 70s, I'm just going to say that. But the power of communication and agreement in terms of purpose will make sure that as entrepreneurs, we are all growing. Thanks.
Sure. I absolutely love that. It's been such a jam-packed and powerful session that we've had here today. We've looked at strategy and we've looked at mindset. And I think before we wrap up with this fireside chat, I just want to do a very quick recap in terms of what we have learned today and what are the actionable things that we can take away with us from this workshop. First and foremost, I want to encourage you and remind you that it is not too late to set your goals for the year. Yes, we are in February. It is the perfect time for us to set our goals. Let's make sure that they are achievable and that they are relevant. Make sure that the goals are yours and they're not goals for somebody else. And it is not pressure that is coming from society. It is our very own goals that are happening for ourselves. Let us make sure that our goals are SMART. We've written down what the acronym for SMART means, and we also want to make sure that we are using the right tools and resources that are going to support us in our goals. Most importantly, deep down inside yourself, you know some of the things that are preventing you from achieving your goals. I want you to really take a good look at how you are speaking to yourself, about your business. Because like Coach Bonnie said, if you're saying your business is small, it will remain small. If you're saying that you are invisible, you will be invisible. I really want to encourage you to go out there with the mindset of really taking this year, grabbing it by the horns and running with it. We are cheering for you. We are rooting for you. Remember that we do have our free 2025 business planner by Monetize Your Business in partnership with FNB. You can ask the ladies by the registration table to help you to get onto our social media pages to be able to download it, and also to get into the Rustenburg WhatsApp group so that you can download this free resource. It helps you to look back on 2024, evaluate the year that you had, and then plan for 2025. Stay connected with us on social media so that you can see which township we are coming to next, and make sure that you follow the live stream. We are live streaming right now on YouTube. So any other place that we go to, you can also check out the live stream so that you can plug in. Now, before we get off the stage, I want you all to give yourselves a huge, huge resound of applause. Thank you.